Alright guys, welcome back. Today we're taking a look at the Premium DNA Earthworm Jim and his extra accessory head pack. I got these off of Aliexpress. I'll put the prices up there. You all probably know there's some drama going on around surrounding these figures, and if they're bootlegs or some people speculate that the Premium DNA didn't pay the factory and the factory started selling off their stock. Um, some people say it's defects that the factory took and are selling. So who knows? I'm just going to take a look at the figure that we got here today and give you all my honest thoughts on it. And then you all can decide if you choose to pick up one or not. So without further ado, let's go straight into the unboxing. Alright, so for the smallest one, we'll take a look at this one first. You can see the very iconic video game splash screen there. Down at the bottom, you can see the Premium DNA logo. What is that? Interplay logo. Down at the bottom here, you see Premium DNA, made in China. This side, you can actually see a little sprite image. And the top here just has the Earthworm Jim logo. The back has the same thing. This is just a slip cover. So inside you see all the heads there. And the back has some sort of space looking design. Figure contents, or the box contents on the back there. And other figures in the wave. I actually did see the Bob the cat. Bob the goldfish, sorry, and Psycho. And I even did see the supposed Big Bad Toy Store exclusive, the one in the boxer shorts. That is also on there for around $15. So, yeah. So let's take a look at the main box himself. Same artwork. On this side you have sprites from the game, and on this side a different sprite. So removing the slip cover on this one. Let's go Jim with snot. And it looks really cool. I do see a defect right off the bat. We'll get into that as we open it up. But it does look really nice. Once again, the contents of the box, legal information, the same bio from before, just in case you didn't get it. There you go. Yeah, so let's unbox this and see what we get inside. Alright, so how I like to do things, I like to unbox the figure, get it in my hands, play around with it a little bit and just get a feel for it, and of course, look for any issues and stuff like that, so I'm able to point it out to you guys. So after looking at this figure, I could definitely say this figure is giving me hard bootleg vibes. In other words, if Premium DNA sold me this for $40 something or $50, how much ever this figure was, I'd be pretty mad. So let's go over it. Now this could just be my figure, doesn't necessarily have to be the one that you picked up, but I could only review the one that I have. So if you look here, you will see that the paint, it went from one specific color to a different color right on the end there. You can almost see the transition. Looks pretty bad. The eye, there's a lot of rough paint spots on the eye. The eyeball itself does look pretty clean. The lip does look very rough. You see a lot of lines and stuff going on there. The inside of the head, where his body is supposed to be, well, he's a worm, so he's wrapped up around inside there. You can actually see that they painted the yellow onto the worm body itself. Missing chunk right down the chest. Doesn't look good at all. And you can see more missing white paint on the ends here. And as most people I saw videos of the same issue, this thing just pops off. I mean, you can glue it back, but the arms seem to be okay. But they do have this sort of rough orange peel sort of look to the paint, like the paint wasn't applied very well. You would wonder why they just didn't mold this, if they molded the entire figure in white, or if they painted white over some different color, because why is this like that? Kind of strange. I saw other people had issues where the hands weren't fitting properly, but mine are, so can't complain there. The paint's already peeling in the joints, to be expected, but on the arms here, why is that like that? So I have sort of blue paint being scraped off here into the joint, because I assume this whole hand is blue. As before mentioned, this sort of black gash maybe, or it looked like it rubbed up against something that was a darker color. Yeah. An ankle, big gash there. Or is that a joint? I think it's a joint. You'll forgive them for that one. On the back, it looks relatively better than the front, I would say. One thing I'll give them is that the joints are pretty smooth. I haven't had any issues. There goes the hand. After I just said it wasn't popping off easily. The elbow looks to be a completely different white than the rest of the figure. So yeah, not looking too great there, to be quite honest. But then again, I only paid $24, so then again I have to Jada Toys and some Marvel Legends around that price as well, so I have to compare it around those things too. So even in that regard, it looks kind of bad. Alright, so let's go over the articulation. Jim's head can only look up about that far and down about that far. His head is just on a ball joint, so when you try to turn it, it sort of angles up like that. His shoulders do come up to about that far. They can rotate. They'll come down to his side around that far. His his bicep does swivel. There is a double joint at the elbow, but it only gets you around 90. The wrist does hinge and swivel. The torso, kind of weird joint. They have these soft suspenders here, but they're not that soft that they would allow you to bend too much. So you can get some twist out it and a little bit of tilt back and forth, but really not too much. Strange design. The waist does swivel. The legs very loose on this side. Only kicks forward about that far. The crotch does not seem to be a soft rubber or anything. Kicks forward about that far. Kicks back about that far. There is a thigh swivel. Knees are double jointed. Only get me about there. Ankles kick forward about that far, down about that far. And there is a rocker. So, I mean, you probably could get you some decent Earthworm Jimmy sort of poses, but the loose legs and stuff is going to make that a bit of a task. So, let's move on to his accessories. Some articulation points I forgot to show was how far he could split, which due to his loose leg is about that. Keeps falling down. And he can lean from side to side a lot better than he can lean forward and back. So that's a pretty good thing for the torso joint there. Alright, so let's run through all the accessories that comes with the main figure. First of all, he does come with 2 fist stands, but those can be swapped out for his gesture hands, or he does come with his 2 gun holding hands. And those do seem to snap on, even though they do have some looseness. The gun holding hands do have the advantage of having vertical hinges, which is real nice for a change. Imagine a questionable figure has vertical hinges, and some mainline figures can't give us those. Alright, he does come with his gun, which you can stick in either of those hands. This one I would say is extremely loose, actually wobbling around. Can't even hold the weight, so we'll keep him in this hand for now. Change this to a gesture hand or something. That does look pretty cool. It's kind of strange that he can't look to the side. His head is always tilted. You would expect that with a ball joint he should be able to go all the way back there, but yeah, there you go. His backpack is able to come out as well. So this piece just slides out of there. And then you can put in the snot. It just slots in right there. And then you also have the longer snot. In the game, he sort of stretches out and you can swing from certain grapple points. Pretty cool. He does come with the static slot figure himself. This paint on this is actually more impressive than the figure itself. Oh, he does have that shiny spot there. I had to jinx it. And here's how he look up against his backdrop. It does look pretty cool from a distance. So, another head sculpt. Eye not in the right place. This one looks pretty good though. The molding on these things look extremely rough. There's some kind of shiny dab of paint there. It looks like they tried to correct something. And a big chunk of skin tone on top here. The one I saw visibly from the package. Focus. That is just awful. Big black spotch there. This one does have a chunk missing there. But overall, this one doesn't look that bad. Now this one, I doubt they could screw this up. It's just all black. Maybe they did. This one's passable. On the eyes, still not too clean. This one's top teeth aren't even painted. So like I must have gotten the pure defect version. Still interesting to take a look at. You can visibly see two big splotches of flesh tone on the eyes. More weird molding issues. And stuff on the side there. Really doesn't look that good. This worm body, yeah, more strange seam line going down there. Is it flexible? Not really. Kind of scary to think of popping in these heads there. I figure something might break, but I guess that's why we're doing it on camera. So as mentioned, Jim does come with the worm body. And on that worm body you can plug any of the heads that comes with him. This is the one that originally came with him. But yeah, it's supposed to be able to lean back like that. And as mentioned, you could put any of the heads onto the worm body or the main body. So we're just gonna run through all the heads on the actual figure himself. You have the happy, laughing Jim. You have the quizzical sort of Jim. You have the goofy looking Jim. You have the semi-pissed sort of Jim. You have the same angry looking Jim that looking to the side, except this one is looking forward. And lastly, we have the burnt out face Jim. So now we're gonna do some size comparisons and then we close off this video. So for height, he does stand around 6¼ inches tall to the top of his worm head, and this worm body is about 3 1/4, probably a little taller because I had to lean him back to stand. So here he is next to Jada Toys Feilong. And he is next to Jada Toys Ken. Dalsim, recently reviewed. I guess we'll put him up against Chester Cheetah, also from Jada Toys. So a lot of Jadas going on here. So let's bring in Black Series Mando. And then the McFarlane Nightfall Batman. And lastly, the Marvel Legends Ant-Man. So it's tough to answer if this would be worth it or not. It all depends on what your tolerance level for flaws and stuff is. If you're a little bit OCD like me, maybe you won't dig it. I find the paint flaws very annoying, and I hope to try to paint over some of these white parts that are peeling. As for the pre-order, I don't think I'd cancel it from Big Bad Toy Store. I think I'll leave it just to see if they do fulfill the order or not. But honestly, if this is what they were gonna send out for $50, I definitely would be very angry. Very angry. But yeah, so I can't judge it on the $50 price tag. I can only judge it on the $24 that I paid for it, and in that regard, I still think it's below average because average Jada Toys is painted much better than this and has no flaws and doesn't have as much flaws as this does. So yeah, something to consider. I tried my best to show all the flaws I could and show it as best as I could up in detail. So now it's up to you to decide if you are willing to accept those, and if you are, these are available on Aliexpress. Cheapest I saw them was around 15 for the actual figure. So I don't know if I should bite the bullet at some point and try to get another one and see if maybe I have a better luck of the draw. Maybe I'll try sometime. But until then, guys, hope you all enjoyed the video, and y'all take care.